Alright, so today we're going to go over the style that we're going to be playing, some examples to start off your training and learning. So we're going to start off with some concept for today is reggae music, the way that we jam to it, the way that we play it, It's like, how do we play the shanty, how do we play other things. But what we got right here is few things that we learned today. So I got alright, basically you got your way of playing, right? The shanty solos, live. You gotta, make sure you got your stuff together, especially those effects and stuff. And then you got this, like, so you're playing to the reggae jams, and you're studying different ways to solo. You got these ones that you usually do. So you can play a little differently, Usually it's come in. But then you got these ways of playing it differently, just for experimenting. You got step one. So hitting the middle ones, incorporating different numbers. How do you make those make sense? Well, there's a few ways. You got this way, where you're leading them as musical notes. Playing different ways around it, such as, Alright, so you got those kind of things, to do with it, or you can play with a leading movement, where the concept behind your playing is that it leads to somewhere. So it's all about what you're leading to. So you use a piece, doesn't sound perfect, but it's all about what's around it and what it's leading to, So one, it's leading to something. So you're playing what you're going to be leading to. So you got this way of like, so try to solve those ones down. Then you also got this way where you can do like, you know what I mean? It's all about that. So then you also got if you jam with those ideas, kind of right about where we're at right here, learning how to incorporate different things, how they sound and stuff, how to get off of the you know what I mean? So that's a good style, but what can we do with it? Well, we can do that way of air fretting it up, So you got those like those spidey kind of things, kind of like incorporating into those too, and this is what we're going to be practicing on. So then we also got this right here, the movement, which this goes back to the first example of what's added to those shanty solos. You got this way of, and then you also got like what we're meaning to add to that is like the style of reggae notation, is based on the power chord. So this is actually, bar chord. This is actually bar chord kind of notation, the movements that we use. So what we're talking about reggae notation is that you're going to be using, these kind of things, moving them around to play a certain style of reggae based on these, these different odd structures that come up in the reggae that you're playing. When you're listening to like dancehall, you got these ways of these you gotta think about the way that you're doing it, right? But that's about right there what we're talking about. Those off ways of playing that are leading to things, but are doing different things. Go into those, It's hard to notice things, but I mean, we do notice them. I mean, there's these ways, So basically, what we're gonna talk about in the reggae notation, in the bar chord notations, you got this way of right, that's not the right one, right? But what we're looking for isn't that one or that one. And you got these other ways of doing it. You move it around right there and all around. But what is it, really? So where can we find something like, and then it goes to the wrong one. But I mean, that's what we're talking about is like those, California kind of thing. Take that to the California part we were talking about in an earlier video and figure out what you can do with it. But right here, basically, it's there's something in between. You know what I mean? There's a too high, right? What it is it's a way of moving through things. Finding the chords, the structure that we're showing here, right here. The theory behind it, the relevance, of this kind of playing. Well, I'm sorry, not that one, but also, what about those live pieces, that you were doing where you'd be like, this can be an easy exercise to get into those, ones that we were talking about before. Where you're going off into these different things just because it feels right, because it looks right. Does it really go with the music right? The way you were doing it was tasteful when you were doing it with Shanti, because it was going with the music and the live, but is it really worth recording if you gotta, you gotta find what's ways around it. So basically, if you go off of the major and minor kind of Santana kind of thing, actually what's off of it, what about what's between that, what's in the middle, what's with those things, the major and minor and the Santana office kind of thing, what's the changes, mainly on both of them, but mainly on the major and minor, where can we find all the things deep within it, So that's one of the main keys to your main study of these theories and stuff. And what we're actually talking about is how are you going to incorporate a playing in which you can move to like a where you use a different off note, but you can only use it at the end or something like that, But why does that sound good and not the other ones, That's a way of breaking in. That right here is the way that you're going to break in to all these different kinds of playing, Use that off note at the end, and go from there, man. The off notes all between, all around, off notes leading to this, off notes leading to that. Led by off notes all around stuff makes sense, but the off notes are in there, and that's right there is where you're gonna find, all the stuff you need to find with the music and how it makes sense, But what we're gonna be playing about is the reggae chords, because it's got a very good major, minor, minor, But are we just going to be doing that, or are we going to do something else? You know, it's not Santana, it's something completely different than Santana, you know? So we're getting off of that old shantytown style that I used to play. So that's it for right now. Alright, see you later.